just really encouraging everyone on campus that we're all Aggies and we're all here to support one another. Anytime you see Maroon or are greeted by a howdy, like, you are welcome and you are accepted here.
This is On Air with Student Affairs. I'm Elizabeth Drake, your host, and today we are here with Isabella and Tony from Maroon Out to talk a little bit about unifying the 12th man. So to get us started, could you guys tell us a little bit about the first time you went to a Maroon Out game?
Yes. So my name's Isabella, and my first Maroon Out game was when I was a senior in high school. We came to the game. I honestly don't remember who we played, but it was the red, white, and blue game, and that's something that Maroon Out helped put together. It wasn't necessarily the Maroon Out game that year, but we got to come, and I was just amazed by how it came together, and then I just kind of knew what it was my whole life because my mom has the T-shirts.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Tony. For me, my first experience with the Maroon Out game, and actually the first experience with Maroon Out as an organization, was the Lone Star Showdown as my freshman year. So what an experience that was, getting to see all the Maroon, all of the different Aggies coming together, former, past, present, everybody coming together to not only celebrate, the Aggie community and our traditions of Maroon Out, but also to be there in spirit and celebrating our team, for recrystallizing that rivalry between that school in Austin and and us. So definitely a great experience I had, and that's also why I'm here, because I really enjoyed Maroon Out.
For those of us who don't know, tell us a little bit about Maroon Out.
So Maroon Out's a tradition that's been around since 1998. So we just recently celebrated our 25-year anniversary. So it's kind of awesome to say that we've been around for so long, but we're a tradition that unites the 12th man every year with one football game where we all wear the same T-shirt. And even if it's not that T-shirt, we just create a sea of maroon, and we've kept it around ever since, and also elaborated into other sports as well.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the history and the founding of Maroon Out?
We started with Kyle Valentine, who wanted to, when we were playing Nebraska, they're known for creating a sea of red. And so he wanted to do a sea of maroon, which led to a national shortage of maroon shirts, which is really cool. And so it started, he just wanted to do that for A&M. And so he made it happen. And that's when it really started. And then it happened again in 1999. And, the old Aggie saying of it happens twice, it's tradition. And so I guess that's really prevalent because we're still around now and it's 2025. And so that's kind of where it originally started. And so once it was founded by Kyle and his peers and cabinet, I guess, at the time, it then transitioned to being a part of class councils. And it was one of the class traditions that they put on for the university. And then it started to become a little bit bigger and a little bit more popular. And so it split off and became its own organization. And that's where we are today.
Like you said, it's been around for a while. How has the organization evolved since 1988?
It's evolved in so many different ways. I can say even from when I joined as a freshman, because I'm a senior now, it's changed. We've added on sports in the spring. We've just grown our membership. I know Tony's our membership director, so he might be able to say a little bit more on the membership side, but it's grown in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, definitely. From when I first joined, I remember meeting the current membership director of that time and just getting to understand the community that comes with the organization itself, because at the end of the day, our motto is we're more than just a shirt. We're a tradition. And within the organization, being a member of Maroon Out has been honestly a privilege, and it's been amazing getting to work with such great people, and then working my way to meeting with the different members and getting them involved with our tradition and getting to understand that, we're a tradition. We're going to show off our maroon, show off our Aggie pride and spirit at all of our athletic games, and wherever we wear that shirt, it means something to us. So it's really beautiful.
Yeah. So how did each of you get involved with Maroon Out in the first place?
I'll let Tony start.
For me, it was whenever I was just strolling around my freshman year, just trying to, find my place, figure out what I wanted to do. And I ended up seeing the Maroon Out booth, and that's when I first met Isabella, just trying to give out some stickers, give out some shirts, bring out that Aggie spirit within all of us. And I was like, this is really cool. I like that shirt. How do I get involved? And from there, that's whenever I learned what Maroon Out was, figured out what the website talked about, the social media presence that Maroon Out had, and got to learn a little bit more about the mission. And it just like sort of inspired me, because this is something that not only gets me connected with more people within A&M, but it also gets me into that Aggie spirit and means something now when I wear this shirt. It's kind of awesome.
For me, I joined the fall of my freshman year. And I remember the application was due at midnight, and I was just wanting to join anything and everything I could as a freshman to figure out what in the world it was that I wanted to do. And so, like I said, due at 11:59, opened it at 11:50 and said, I really want to apply for this. So I kind of threw my name in the hat and was fortunate enough to get accepted into the organization and immediately loved it. And I have a vivid memory of looking at the directors at that time and being like, wow, they give so much to this organization. That's awesome. But what a time commitment. I would never, ever do that. And now here I am. This is my third year as being a director and second year as executive director. And I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
So when is the next Maroon Out game, and how can Aggies participate?
The next Maroon Out game is our next home football game. It is against South Carolina, November 15th. And they're for sale all across College Station and online as well if you are not physically here in College Station. Some of our main retailers are Aggieland Outfitters, The Warehouse, Barnes & Noble, and the MSC. But we just really want to encourage people to wear maroon. Even if it's not our t-shirt, we'd love for it to be our t-shirt. But we understand that not everyone can have access to it. So wear maroon no matter where you are. Really help us paint the town and all of Texas maroon for it. Anything else?
Yeah, show that Aggie spirit. Gig 'em.
So how does wearing maroon create that sense of unity and Aggie identity on game day?
You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure, definitely. With maroon, being our school colors, it kind of helps us in unifying the 12th man, where you wear maroon and you wave white. But it also shows that to our teams, to our athletic teams, that we are here as a tradition to continue on to show off our Aggie spirit, that we're proud of our school colors, we're proud of our school traditions, our history, and it sort of brings it all into one of why do we wear maroon? It's to, continue on that sense of community, continue on that we're all together, we're all in this together, getting that war hymn together.
So obviously this is such a widespread tradition at Texas A&M. How do you guys continue to motivate Aggies to come together and wear the maroon?
I think there's kind of a complex answer to that question. It depends. Our target markets, per se, have shifted for sure. At the start of the tradition, the common culture, per se, of Aggie sports games was just kind of wear what you wear to class. So it was easier to get people in a t-shirt. And now being in the SEC, we have that little bit of SEC fashion show sense at our football games. So it can be harder to get people in the shirt, but we know that we just really want people to wear maroon. And so that's how we kind of target to those people that focus on the SEC fashion, wear maroon. And then there's a lot of older Ags as well that come back for games and just live in College Station. So for them, we can really focus on the actual shirt sales to them.
So Maroon Out is actually a year-long organization. Can you guys share a little bit more about the mission of your organization and how you guys play a role in traditions on campus?
Yeah, so I'll start with this one. So the mission is just to unify the 12th man in whatever way we can. And we've been fortunate enough to do that in more sports now as well. We currently have football, of course, and then men's and women's basketball, volleyball, softball, and baseball. And so we're just really trying to maroon out any stadium we can on campus, but also touch into things that aren't as sport focused, like ring day. We do something called Fuel Up for Finals, just really encouraging everyone on campus that we're all Aggies and we're all here to support one another. Anytime you see maroon or are greeted by a howdy, you are welcome and you are accepted here. But that's kind of what I think we do throughout the whole year. Tony?
I mean, I kind of just took it that we wore maroon and called it a day, but no, just continuing on with Isabella said, maintaining that sense of Aggieland community, maintaining the tradition of the 12th man. It was started with E. King Gill at that first game against College Century, and it just continue onwards towards how can we continue to unify ourselves not only as a community but also at our athletic events. How can we support our team? So really cool stuff that goes on with Maroon Out.
Could you guys share a little bit about where the money from the shirt sales go?
Okay, so yes, we were very fortunate enough to bring in enough money that we have the opportunity to give back to other traditions on campus. And so something that we have recently started is at the beginning of the fall semester, we have other organizations come in and speak at one of our director meetings, and they get to pitch per se why they think their organization or tradition should be receiving a donation from us. And so first of all, that was just really cool to learn about all these other traditions and meet those people. But then it also allowed us as a director team to really sit down and be like, okay, where do we think our money would best be served for this year? And so this year we selected the Traditions Council again. They were ours last year as well. And it's going specifically to the bonfire remembrance ceremony. Last year they used that money for a dinner that was for all the families that were impacted by the fall of bonfire. And so that was really special to see all the families coming together and getting to have that experience with the money that we gave them.
I love it. So really you're unifying the community through service.
Yes, ma'am.
So for people who have never experienced a Maroon Out game, how would you describe being in the stands and everyone wearing maroon to them? What would be your message?
Oh, goodness. I need to think. Tony, do you have an answer?
Wear that maroon with pride. The maroon shirt means a lot more than the tradition. It means the 12th man. I know I keep repeating the 12th man, but it's true. We're here in Aggieland. We're here to wear maroon, wave white, and then show our pride for why we are here in Aggieland, why we are here in the Bryan College Station area. We're not here for Dixie Chicken, or we're not here for the McDonald's down the street. We're here for Texas A&M University. And I don't know if y'all have seen A&M football recently, but holy cow, I am proud to wear maroon. Let me tell you. So really great to be able to be unified with everybody and have something in common that, hey, you have a maroon shirt. I have one too. Let's get together and do the Aggie War Hymn together to show off that we're the 12th man. Yeah,
I think for me, kind of in a different way, but very, very similar to what Tony was saying, it's just cool to be able to share the story of Maroon Out. We had the opportunity to go see the shirts actually being produced at the CC Creations warehouse. And so it's cool to see how many people touch the shirt in order for it to be made. And then our team going out and selling it to vendors, and then the vendors doing it. So it's cool to just see the process. And so when I kind of explain that to people, they're like, oh, wow, that is more than just a t-shirt I see in a store and buy. It really adds that impact. And so I just love being a part of that.
So you talked a little bit about the behind the scenes of making the t-shirts. How does all that work? Who designs it?
Yeah, so for the design specifically for football, the process starts in February and March. And so it'll start with the executive director. So this year, me and our advisors, we take a little trip down to the warehouse at CC's, and we walk up and down the aisles and we say, we love that shirt, but not that font. And it's kind of like a game, just being like, we like all these. And then we give them to a graphic designer and say, here you go. Here's my vision. Can you please make it pretty? And so they do that and then send it back to us. And we give them a few edits, few revisions. And then on their second draft, it goes to the director team and they get to submit any ideas or feedback they have. And once that's approved, it then goes to athletics and marketing and licensing, and all the legal things come after that. And hopefully we also have a game selected by then as well to tie in. But yeah.
So obviously you guys have a ton of maroon t-shirts going on,
Yes.
But is there a favorite Maroon Out t-shirt you guys have?
Oh, absolutely. Tony, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I have a wardrobe of maroon.
So many.
You should see my house. But yeah, I guess for me, I would say that the 2012 Maroon Out shirt, that was the first Maroon Out shirt that I got exposed to in my freshman year. Just that classic, bam, Maroon Out. That was a pretty cool design.
Mine was the 2010 one. I love it. It has a big football on it. I couldn't tell you any special correlation that shirt has to me. I just love that shirt. I think it's so cute. And then also any of our basketball shirts. Basketball is my favorite sport. And so getting to be able to design the last 2 years has been so, so cool to me. And I just love it.
Yes, I still have my Maroon Out shirt from my very first Aggie football game that I just love. I think that's probably my favorite Maroon Out shirt. Maroon Out has clearly grown so much since its original founding. How do you guys see it growing even more in the future?
I would love to see us continue growing into sports that we don't already have a presence in. I know like soccer, track, those kind of sports. I would love to see us have a Maroon Out game or event for those. And also doing more on campus, not necessarily sport related. We already do Howdy Week, Ring Day, and finals, but I'm sure there's other days in there that we could do pop-up events or something special. And the world is kind of full of opportunities. And so I'm excited to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, no, adding on to what she said, any way that we can, grow our presence not only within on campus, but also within the community, continuing to build our relationships as well as continuing to provide service and bringing more light to our tradition and as well as welcoming in new members. Love to see you. But yeah.
Love it. You guys are just trying to grow the Maroon all year round.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously, you guys devote a lot of time to Maroon Out. Do you have a favorite memory that stands out?
There's too many to count for favorite memories, but I think just overall, my favorite experience as a whole, yes, we've gotten to learn so many business things and professional life things, but at the end of the day, it's the friendships that I have in this organization that mean the most to me. And when I think back to my memories, it's the people that I'm thinking about. It has nothing to do with what the shirt looked like, what game it was, or how well we did that day. It's the friendships that were made. I know, like, just to name off a few of them, like pushing carts full of water bottles or boxes with my friends has been so fun. Fanning our members with big boxes during hot football activations is just so silly and so special. And just like getting to do things like we just went to Topgolf. That was awesome. And doing things that aren't necessarily selling a t-shirt, the friendships that go beyond it are what's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound so unoriginal, but yeah, that was sort of my answer too. Is more of the memories created with the members and getting to, build more friendships upon the current friendships that I have. I really enjoyed my time with the past few socials that we've had. We've been to BJ's and our Pazuki social, going to Topgolf and getting to, get a closer bond with each other. And then it makes it a lot more fun when we're working together at activations and, building on that. Hey, I remember you from that other time. Let's work together on this and share some Maroon with everybody. So it's really nice to build those friendships with everyone here in Maroon Out.
I just love how you guys light up when you talk about the organization. It sounds like those experiences are going to be what you guys remember 20 years from now.
Yes.
Obviously, you both are very involved. What advice do you have for other students who are wanting to get involved?
You want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. Well, as Maroon Out, the history was all created by a student, and that's the really cool thing about Maroon Out is that it is a student-run organization, and it sort of leads into that common theme that any Aggie can have the choice to create their own story, to pave their own path, wherever it may be, whatever it may be that they do. It may not be career, just maybe their passion, or maybe something that they woke up and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to have waffles today. Let's make an organization about it. Any way that you can enjoy yourself outside of what you already do, because at the end of the day, yes, we're here for academics. Yes, let's pursue that degree. Let's finish and wear our Aggie ring with pride. But at the same time, create your own Aggie story, set your own pathways, build relationships, make Aggieland your home, because it is your home. And for freshman students, get out of the dorm. Stop studying. Study, but get out of the dorm. Go make some friends. And the more you progress into your senior year, where Isabella is already starting to get that senioritis, she's going to miss it because of the valuable memories that have been created in her path.
Yeah, for sure. I could say something very, very similar. Create your own Aggie experience. Put yourself out there. Apply for all the things your freshman year. Be in all the things, figure out what you're really passionate about and what you really love, and then continue those orgs for your future years. That's what I did, and I love it. And now being a senior, it's so bittersweet having to say goodbye to these organizations. I know I only have 2 more football activations left with Maroon Out, and that's so weird to me. Like that, I just can't imagine my life without these organizations, and I wish the same for everyone else that's coming to A&M. Even if you're not a freshman, just get involved. You can do it. We take everyone. I know other orgs out there do too.
I couldn't agree more with what you guys said. There's just so many opportunities to get involved and find your fit at A&M. Have you guys ever had coaches or athletes share their perspective of Maroon Out games from the field?
I don't know about any for football, but one that's really stood out for me is our volleyball team is so kind and just loves yes, they love volleyball, but they also love Maroon Out. And so this past year, they got some of the players to wear the shirt and take photos in them. And the girls were just having so much fun with it. And they were making silly poses and commenting on the post. Like, they were just loving it. And you could tell when they saw people then wearing the shirt to the game, they just thought it was cool because then they promoted it on social media and therefore other people wore it. So it was just cool to see their reactions for that.
I know you touched on, obviously, other sports have Maroon Out games. What does that look like? Because I know a lot of us know about the Maroon Out football game, but obviously we can support other sports through Maroon Out.
Yeah, so I'll let Tony kind of elaborate on what it looks like. But to start off, I know I mentioned it earlier, but in addition to football, we do men's, women's, basketball, baseball, softball, and volleyball. And so during my time, we've gotten the privilege of adding baseball, women's basketball, and men's basketball. So it's just really expanded in the 4 years I've been here. So I can't wait to see where it goes from there. But for the day in the life of it, Tony?
Yeah, no, for how we work with our organization, we send out our volunteer shifts for our members. And then from there, whoever shows up, we gather our little booth outside of the entrance of the game. And there we are promoting our shirts, giving them to fans, letting them know that, hey, here's our Maroon Out game coming up November 15th, 2025. But yeah, no, a lot of good stuff there. I remember last year we had the whiteout game with basketball. We had the blackout game here with football, and then been at the last few volleyball games that we've had, and that's been really cool, especially with the promo with the volleyball players. So any way we can to just give out those shirts, and then just sharing that Aggie spirit, and then giving somebody a cool takeaway from the game as well.
So Maroon Out clearly plays such a big role in so many students' Aggie experience, but how has it played a role in your own experiences?
Oh, goodness. Tony, you start. Mine's a long answer, so you go.
Yeah, no, of course. I guess for me, it's been a good way to build another home away from home. I've had a lot of student organizations that I've been a part of here at Texas A&M, and, there's a lot of great things that are out there. But for me, I found Maroon Out to be another little home that I've had, that I've got to meet a lot of great people. On the fundamental side of things, I've learned, the aspects that come with a business, getting into that development of leadership, getting communication skills, and working with others as far as selfless service, building onto one of our core values here as a Texas A&M Aggie. And for me, I've loved it because the continued support of helping the community, unifying the 12th man, and any way that we can to spread that maroon and show yourself a good gig 'em. It's been a pleasure.
So for me, Maroon Out's impacted my college experience in so many different ways. I truly don't know what my college experience would have been like without it. And it's so weird to me that after next semester, I'll be in the real world without it. And that's just crazy to think about. It's taught me so much about business, like Tony was saying, so much about finance and negotiating. Our advisors have taught me so much about just getting yourself out there and what it's like in the real world. This is what I want to do with my life. I'm a sport management major, so I always say that my dream big girl job would be to do Maroon Out, but for a sports team. So it's really crazy just getting that experience right now. And then just all the people that are in this organization, I love each and every one of them. And they're some of my best friends. And all the support we have in there is just amazing.
You clearly both have had such an impact from being a part of this organization. I know you both touched on that you've gotten a lot of experience working with other organizations and vendors and stuff. What does that look like?
It's a crazy experience as a college student to have those experiences. It's wild knowing that we have such a large budget and we're talking to these big corporations, not even just our vendors that sell the t-shirts, but also partners, HEB, Raising Cane's, all those kinds of people. It's weird that those national brands want to come to our little organization, but then I realize we're not that little. We say we're a small business, but we're really not when you look at how much money we're bringing in and how many products we're selling. And so just doing that has taught me so many professional skills. Same for you.
Yeah, no, definitely completely agree with how Maroon Out's been able to bring out that outreach. Like we know we have our PR with community and campus outreach where we have profit shares, any way that we can help the community. It's been a great thing to see with how we're networking ourselves to become bigger. So it's pretty cool.
So if anyone watching has been really impacted by what you've had to say today and is interested in joining the organization, what can they do?
They can do so many things. We would love to have them. Well, first of all, we'd love for them to wear maroon to the November 15th game and come support us at all of our other sports in the spring as well. But they can always email Tony, our membership director, and we would love to take them. We do our main recruitment rounds at the start of each semester, but we're always looking for new members. So if there's anyone out there that's really passionate and wants to join, we'd love to talk with them. And Tony would love to meet with them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And my email address is membership@maroonout.org. So never hesitate to send me a question. If you ever see us out there, feel free to come chat about it. We would love to talk. We all love to talk. So definitely love to tell you about our tradition and why this will be your new home away from home.
So if students or community members, any Aggie fans want to get their Maroon Out shirts to support, how do they do so?
Well, for football, so all football season, what we call activate outside of Kyle Field before every home football game. So we'll be out there in a big old Maroon Out tent. You can't miss us. And we'll be selling our T-shirts. But if you can't come to an Aggie football game, you can also get it at the warehouse, Aggieland Outfitters, the MSC on campus, and all those retailers also have online storefronts that can ship it to you, and you can buy it the day of, months leading up. It comes out every May, and so you can buy it from May up until game day.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today more about Maroon Out and its mission. We hope to see everyone watching on November 15th supporting our Aggies at the Maroon Out game. Gig 'em.